For today's game, it's his first day back with the team for a game day since early January.
Coach Boone did make an appearance at the women's game yesterday. It doesn't matter the circumstance or the reason. Always good to see Coach Boone back in the building.
He's recovering from emergency heart surgery, which has certainly been the theme of the Central Arkansas season, overcoming adversity on the court and off. Opening possession for Jacksonville State. Toss it up and toss it in. That's Skylar Potter.
This is a display of athleticism, going up and putting up the pass that was just a little bit behind him.
Colin Cooper loves to pop the three. That one back iron and rebounded by Marash Zelisnak. Zelisnak, Demaree King, Marcellus Brigham, Skylar Potter, and Jawan Purdue, the starting five for Jacksonville State, and that is Zelisnak getting some early.
Complete defensive breakdown by Central Arkansas. Nobody put a body on Zelisnak. That was a wide open look at the rim.
That matches as many points as he scored in both games against the Bears last season. He's much more of a rebounding defensive specialist as you see him go to work against Eddie Kyalud, the lone Central Arkansas senior. And Zelisnak wins the first battle.
To your point, that's going to be an interesting matchup the rest of the way because Kyalud, that's a long three-pointer, but Kyalud has the footwork to be able to get around Zelisnak.
Demaree King hit the three, now he has the steal. Single season record holder in three-pointers made, just added one more to the record. Almost two, that one left a little short. Offensive rebound, Zelisnak blocked from behind by Cameron Hunter. And he is fouled. He was in this building, 20 points. He hit 6 three-pointers.
That's on a low end for him.
It is. He's hit 87 three-pointers on the season now. The running Gamecock single-season record. He broke his own record. Trend for the senior last season when these two teams met. Kyalud will try with a different matchup this time. They double him. And that opens up Cameron Hunter for the open three. That's how it works.
Great vision by Kyalud to find Hunter spotting up in the corner. Kyalud knows anytime he draws two defenders, that means somebody else is open.
Last game against the Bellarmine Knights. Knights were determined to not let Kyalud beat them. He only scored 9 points, but he dished out a season-high 5 assists. He picks up an early one there.
And that's just smart basketball and being aware of where your teammates are in floor spacing.
Hello.
Oh, look at you with the hands.
First. They're explaining to Central Arkansas. They're upset at me because they didn't get a chance to save the ball. Guys, you weren't going to get over here in time. It was you or me. 3-point baskets keep falling. Amanze Nkumazi.
Jacksonville State right now just lighting it up from the perimeter, not afraid to pull the trigger from anywhere on the court.
7-point lead early. Kyalud thinks about the three. And that tends to be when Kyalud comes up short. If you leave him open and let him think about it.
He was falling away. His momentum, you could see there, his body was just tracking backwards when he put that shot up.
Round the horn. Potter passes up the three-point shot, drives, and draws the foul against Elias Cato. Potter at the line, 76% shooter, and he's been here a ton. This next attempt will be his 100th free throw. Central Arkansas. Potter has been the hottest scorer on the Gamecock team as of late. 5 straight 10-plus point games, 2 double-doubles before scoring only 8 against Liberty. He's still playing very well here down the stretch. Had a season-high 28 points, 10 rebounds against Kennesaw State. Scored 44 points against the Owls across 2 games. The first place Owls, I should add. Kennesaw State, maybe the surprise of the A-Sun season.
And they're coming here on Friday.
Senior day for Central Arkansas will be a very tough opponent. Cooper, second chance at a three, and he banks it home.
Cooper has that quick trigger. Central Arkansas has done such a better job of getting him better passes and putting him right in that pocket where he's able to just go up and shoot.
14 points against Bellarmine. He hit 4 threes in that game, but it's immediately erased by King.
There is nowhere on this court where King is not willing to pull the trigger.
Had 27 points at home against Queens last week, his 7th 20-plus point game of the year. He is well on his way in this one. He's already hit a couple of three-pointers and has dished out 3 assists.
That's where his game has really impressed me the most. It's not just the three-pointers, but he had 93 assists coming into this game.
Shot short, Hunter the rebound. Cameron Hunter, reigning ASUN freshman of the year, second in the league in scoring at about 17 points a game. But his scoring is all over the floor as he shows you they are driving to the bucket.
And Hunter just invites that contact. He is willing to draw you in, and then that quick first step, he's by you before you even know it.
It's already a three-point basket, and now a drive through the lane for Cameron Hunter. He's 2 for his first 2. 13-8 Gamecock lead. Ngumazi backs down Reeves, fading away. That's a well-defended shot.
Yeah, BJ Reeves did a great job there on a closeout to be close but without fouling.
Hunter, transition 3, yes! 3 for his first 3, the sophomore from Bryant, Arkansas.
Hunter is one of those guards that when he's feeling it, he's going to be on from all over the court.
Both of these teams love to shoot the 3. Central Arkansas averages 8.5 a game. Jacksonville State a hair under 9. Jawam Purdue. He'll try his luck against Colin Cooper. That's a much better matchup.
Now Purdue going up against Cooper. Purdue 6'6", Colin Cooper a little bit shorter, 6'2". Purdue just able to take advantage of the size differential.
Junior from Sumter, South Carolina, is averaging 8 points a game. Gamecock lead back to 4. Cooper wants it back, moving screen called against Cato, and that will be his second. Coach Boone wishing him well as he recovers from heart surgery. And Dorian, this could be a big lift for the team tonight.
And it's always emotional when you have a coach coming back from such adversity and a life-threatening situation, to be quite honest. And so to have him here in this moment, his team, you're right, could very...
As you see the foul there. And you know, he said he's honest, he's still recovering. It's going to be a long road back, but you feel like he's really excited to be back with his team for this final week of regular season games.
And I'm sure for Coach Boone, just getting back into that routine a little bit helps just the recovery process mentally as much as it does physically getting him up and going.
Both teams dealing with foul trouble to their bigs early as Ngumazi just puts one up at the shot clock. And it fails to connect. In transition, Carl Daugherty got out in front of everybody in a hard...
That is a dangerous foul, though, coming down on a player's head and neck.
Daugherty's been playing more and more. The foul trouble to Marash Zelisnak early on. They've turned to Monzie Jackson, a junior from Dublin, Georgia, a transfer from Wichita State who has not played a lot this year for them. He's getting some early minutes, and Dorian will also be watching Central Arkansas without Elias Cato in early foul trouble. They also have a lot of injuries inside.
Central Arkansas without Churchill Bounds today is King. Another three-pointer goes down. They're just falling from everywhere, but Central Arkansas with injuries and Cato in foul trouble. The Bears are going to have to play small, which is probably also why Jacksonville State going to some of their bigger lineups to try to get favorable matchups.
No Churchill Bounds, also no eBay Klintman for Central Arkansas inside. Klintman returned against Bellarmine, but played just 5 minutes before re-aggravating a season.
This struggle as of late for Central Arkansas. Turnovers were a significant problem on the road at Bellarmine, already 5 today. The Bears just not crisp about their passing, a little bit of sloppy and a little bit of miscommunication.
Well, I'm going to save the next note because King has the basketball, and if you share a nugget, he's going to knock down another 3. Cam Hunter with the steal. King on him, but Hunter battles through and count it. Plus,
through and get the basket.
Brigham collects the foul. Cameron Hunter 4 for his first 4 from the field, including 2 threes. He'll tack on a free throw. 11 points already for Hunter. King has 9. He's 3 of 4 from three-point range, accounting for all of his shots. Our players to watch, living up to the early hype.
I love it when they make us look good. The problem for Central Arkansas, though, is that it can't just be the Cam Hunter show.
Oh, for Jacksonville State, they're getting a new face involved. Sophomore Marcellus Brigham.
Brigham has evolved so much offensively. He's always been able to play defense and do the little things right, but he's really stepped up his offensive production around the rim.
Averaging 4 points on the season, but had double that against Liberty their last time out. Cooper inside, draws the contact, no foul, but he gets the basket anyway.
Cooper's also added the inside game to his repertoire, always known primarily as a three-point shooter. As of late, he's been able to get into the lane, and he has such a soft touch. That's what gets those short shots to fall. We started to mention Cooper's 4 threes against Bellarmine last time out. That's his first 4 three-pointer game since December against Oklahoma. It's surprising to look that stat up before the game. Gamecocks get a steal and somehow keep it in bounds, only to throw it away a moment later. BJ Reeves had his pocket.
State has collected 3 quick turnovers. UCA Boy, they wish they could have that Bellarmine game back. Lost by a point despite having a plus 15 rebound margin, but they turned the ball over 16 times. It was part of a weekend where they turned the ball over 39 times in 2 games.
It's really tough to win games when you're turning the ball over at that rate.
Cato's in with 2 fouls. Short bench for Central Arkansas, especially inside. Rebound controlled by Juwan Purdue.
And the fact that Cato is in at this point in the game with 2 fouls just gives you a sense of how important it is for Central Arkansas to play well and win this game.
J.J. Platt is off the bench for the Gamecocks and going very deep early. King, 4 for his first 5. I can't help but chuckle. The guy is lights out.
King is just stone cold from beyond the arc here. Kiersapu was dogging him the entire way, and King said, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and shoot it.
The senior from Tulsa, Oklahoma, his 3rd season with the Gamecocks, just piling onto the record books. Johannes Kiersapu in for the Bears. The freshman from Estonia could be the point guard in waiting. Out to Cato. He has been ice cold from 3-point range lately. He's 0 for his last 8 now, dating back to early February. Kiersapu picks up a loose ball, though. Out ahead to Cooper. Hauls it in, lays it in.
Really good transition game there by Central Arkansas. Colin Cooper broke immediately for the basket. Heads up by Kailu to find him and deliver a good pass. Central Arkansas has been trying to get out and run, but their passing has not been precise.
This isn't a guard pairing we've seen a whole lot from Central Arkansas, but Cooper and Kiersapu are causing chaos. Cooper, though, has been back down inside again. They kick out Travis Roberts into the game for Jack State. He coughs the ball up. Reeves with a steal. Give and go. VJ Reeves denied by Ngumazi.
It's why he's so accurate. He's just so pure with his shot.
He was 2nd best in the nation in 3-point shooting percentage a year ago. Shot 45% from beyond the arc. That's an excellent field goal percentage overall. Demaree, nice move to dodge the block and lay it in.
Central Arkansas playing with that smaller guard formation, able to weave in amongst the trees. Zelly snack back in with 2 fouls.
Now both teams have their bigs, and they are playing physical inside. Cato and Zelly snack. And it creates a lane for J.J. Platt, the redshirt freshman from Nashville, Tennessee.
No one from Central Arkansas stepped up to provide the help. Everyone staying on their bigs, and that allowed Platt to just get right through the lane.
Carl Daughtery hands to Cato. Over to Masai Olawakari. His pass picked off. Juwan Purdue out in front. The feed and the flush. Skylar Potter.
Reward the man when he runs. Potter just getting out in front of the pack.
The senior from Bowling Green, Kentucky, with authority that time. We told you he's been the hottest player on the team as of late. Offensive foul called against Olawakari. That's another turnover, the 7th for Central Arkansas.
Late whistle. Watch Potter time this, getting out in front of the pack. No one from Central Arkansas can get ahead of him. That is an easy rim run, but it's impressive.
Gamecocks have still not trailed. They lead by 5. 9 minutes to play in the first half. These teams as ASUN foes, the 3rd time they've ever met. The road team has won every contest. Just a 3-pointer by Potter is left short. That's unusual because neither of these teams are good on the road. Central Arkansas 2-13 this year. Jacksonville State 1-11. Hunter draws a lot of contact, no whistle, and the shot no good as Hunter pounds the floor. He wanted the call.
Sometimes Hunter does get a little bit too invested in trying to draw the fouls when he has a better assist opportunity.
Platt has turned the ball over twice in his few minutes in the game for Jack State. Almost did again, but is able to get the pass to Potter. The ball stops on a dime and rolls in.
That's when you know things are going your way. That shot was a little bit off the mark. He was off balance when he shot it, and the landing point just caused all the rotation to stop.
Potter's a newcomer. This is his senior season, but his first with the Gamecocks. Daughtery's 3 catches nothing but air. Potter played 2 seasons at Morehead State, averaged 10 points a contest. As the rim run no good that time, Cato takes it away. Central Arkansas with numbers. Cato inside. Gets position against Zelly Snack and puts it home.
Central Arkansas was lucky, though, because Cato almost intercepted that pass. He didn't know it was going across court. And then the inside positioning on Zelly Snack, that's a good quick drop step to go on the inside.
6-point Jack State lead. King out there hunting for another three-point attempt. Zelly snack inside. Got the mismatch, but Olowokere comes away with the board.
That's a good idea, though, that little hook shot. No one on the floor is going to be able to rise up and really bother Zelly Snack's shot.
Cooper, 3 off the back iron. Loose ball, still loose, and Olowokere gets it back. Hunter wants the 3. His first miss of the ball game, but another offensive rebound. Olowokere, 3rd time's the charm for the Bears.
Central Arkansas benefiting from just relentless rebounding. That was the 3rd opportunity. And when you're in a game it's a run out like this, it's all going to come down to the hustle and the who wants it more, and that's when you get rewarded with good looks like that.
First, second chance points of the game come at the 6:40 mark in the first half, and they belong to Central Arkansas with it back down. Just a 3-point Gamecock lead. Platt blocked. Daughtery got up there.
Well, it's just a closing speed and then the placement of the hand.
Hunter feeds it to Daughtery. Lots of contact and the foul call. Certainly on the basketball side, the NBA Hall of Famer. He's got company on the all-time scoring list. Eddie Kayalud, the lone senior on the Central Arkansas team, is back into the game. He's been quiet so far. We'll see if Kayalud gets started. No points so far on 0 of 2 shooting.
So Kayalud may be able to take advantage of the fact that Zelly Snack is no longer in the game.
Brigham drives into traffic, now has to back up. Gamecocks have been constant with the substitutions, keeping everybody fresh, but maybe some
have been happening at both ends. Jacksonville State rotating through, trying to maybe run Central Arkansas into the ground a little bit. Short bench for the Bears today. But when you have different personnel on the floor, communication has to be the most important thing.
Central Arkansas committed the first 5 turnovers of the game. Since then, Jack State has committed 6, only 3 for the Bears. Takeaway, Olowokere looks like he may have got popped in the face and just lost the handle on the ball.
His reaction looked like he got popped in the nose because he stopped playing, didn't go after the loose ball.
Haven't been many whistles in this one, but they have been against the same players. Despite only a few whistles, there are folks in foul trouble. Potter backs up, short on the 3.
Momentum was falling backwards. Potter didn't get his feet set and have the ball going towards the rim.
Hunter creates his own space. Misses that one back iron, and after starting a perfect 4 for 4, he's now 0 for 3.
And back to your point about Jacksonville State's tempo, on that possession, there were 4 red jerseys underneath the basket, really trying to control the rebounds because that allows Jacksonville State to control the tempo of the game.
It's been a difficult season for the Gamecocks. That's 3 seconds in the key. King didn't have anywhere to an NCAA tournament appearance. 5 of the top 6 scorers and rebounders left from that team. Entirely new squad.
When you have rotation like that, it's hard to keep that momentum that you build from season to season.
Kayalud, his second 3-point attempt, in and out.
Just haven't quite put it all together on the offensive end of the floor yet.
Yeah, the connections have been sloppy. Lots of bad passes. That one was almost thrown too far into the backcourt. They're making up for it. Both teams are by hot shooting. Jacksonville State shooting 57% from the field, 48% for Central Arkansas. Cooper a little short, and a foul in the fight for the rebound. And if this one's against Elias Cato.
Shot blocker as of late.
And he's the only one in foul trouble for the Bears, but that's a big player to have in foul trouble. Quite literally, his height, his size is what they're going to miss.
And it puts more emphasis on Eddie Kayalud and what he has to do on the interior.
Kayalud and Olowokere will be the 2 who have to pick up the pace underneath against some talented Gamecock scorers. Kayalud gets a rebound, and a cheap foul going to be picked up by Brigham as he tried to slap it away.
Foul away from being in the bonus.
That was the 6th team foul. So free throws the rest of the way for Central Arkansas. Under 4 to play in the first half. We're still at a 3-point game. Both teams in a scoring slump over the last 3 minutes or so. Hunter just can't get, the lid is closed.
Well, that's the look Central Arkansas wanted. They love to post Hunter up on the interior because of his physicality. He just couldn't get that ball to go down.
Thrown into the backcourt, a turnover will give the ball back to Central Arkansas. And that will take us to our final timeout of the first half. Well, we're in a stalemate. It's been 4 minutes since a bucket. 30-27, Jack State.
The most surprising thing about Cooper being on that is he's just 1 of 4 from beyond the three-point arc. The other points have come from inside the interior.
He has become a more complete player this season. Eddie Kaialu, Jacksonville State, but there's only 2 on the shot clock. Potter knows it. And what a clutch shot. It's a 3.
Oluwakari was tracking out on the perimeter and had to come back to get Potter as Hunter goes through the lane, and that just gave Potter enough room to get that shot off.
We could look back at that one as a difference maker. King way out there with a hand in his face. It doesn't matter. Demaree King has 5 3-pointers.
Well, you want to talk about a difference maker. King is a difference maker because of the way that he can shoot the ball. His ability to knock it down from anywhere on the court makes him lethal.
Offensive rebound. Hunter is
sag, and as soon as he notices that, he's ready to pull the trigger. Central Arkansas, at this point, if I'm the Bears, I'm double teaming him every time he catches the.
Jacksonville State, along with Skylar Potter, still arguing that last call. That's because that was the second personal against Potter, and he'll have to sit, presumably for the remainder of this first half. 36-29, UCA gets a couple of free throws to claw back, but the Gamecocks have opened up their largest lead of the night. King, unstoppable. 6 threes in the first half.
King is unconscious. That is unconscious basketball right now, just hitting from anywhere on the floor. And their quality looks, too. Central Arkansas has not found a way to stop him yet.
Kaialu responds, no, off the back iron. Kaialu 0 for 3 from distance in this first half. King has it again. Kaialu out on him. Not close enough, and King sets.
Here we're going to work on getting us a telestrator so I can write it out on the so everyone can see.
We need
I'll diagram
one.
you some plays too. How about that?
It was a clinic, but no, you're spot on. You've got a 3-point shooter who's already one of the best in the nation, having one of his best games of the year. You can't give him an inch.
No,
out of the timeout, Reeves drives and misses the lay-in.
It is literally the definition of give an inch, take a mile.
Well, there's still a minute and a half to go. All the momentum suddenly with the Gamecocks after knocking down threes from everywhere. King has 7 of them. Potter has 2 more. 8!
And again, Kaialu standing with his hands down. You have to get a body on King every single time.
The home crowd in Central Arkansas is groaning, but what can they do? Demaree King is putting on a clinic. Finally, Kaialu gets a 3-pointer to fall on the other end.
Huge basket for Central Arkansas in terms of momentum. Kaialu's going to need that and then some for UCA to get back in this game.
Cooper has switched over. Now he and Kaialu doubling King. Has to give the ball up. And what can you do? As off the bench, the basket is good for Monzie Jackson. Kaialu inside, draws the foul.
Kaialu using that left Jackson open at the top of the key.
Kaialu, a 72% free throw shooter on the season. So the one from the line. It's a big night for Eddie. This is his final week of games for Central Arkansas. He's the career leader in games played. This is his 147th game in purple and gray. And we'll have a surprise to share with you a little bit later on in the broadcast that may give Kaialu a little something extra for the second half. We'll see. Basket, Jawan Purdue.
It's just a better shot than the defense Central Arkansas is playing right now.
Final shot will belong to the Bears, but the Gamecocks have all of a sudden poured it on. They are going to have 50 points at the half. A team that averages 68 per game. Hunter, 3 is short. Oluwakari, second chance mid-range, off the mark, and that ends the first.
Loaded going on a late run. It really feels like this game is already kind of out of contention for the Bears.
But Central Arkansas, they have struggled mightily defensively, especially this month. But they can score in bunches. They're a high-octane, up-tempo offense. But today, particularly the three-point shot after a hot start, just hasn't been there as of late. Now 5 of 18.
The problem for Central Arkansas is to get back into this game. They're going to have to score in bunches, which for their style of offense, as King wants another.
That's only his second miss as Elias Cato, playing with 3 fouls, brings down the board. UCA won for their last 13.
Central Arkansas's offense isn't built to shoot out of this kind of deficit. They're going to have to get more looks like that. Kylud will have to finish, but the Bears are going to need to get into their transition game where they can create some chaos defensively and get easy runouts.
King doubled. Expect that to continue. And there's the feed. Marcellus Brigham beats him to the rim.
Great take by Brigham because Cato is playing with those 3 fouls. He's not going to be able to contest in the way that he normally would.
Central Arkansas shorthanded inside, but on the offensive end, that doesn't matter as much. Cam Hunter can score from anywhere.
Hunter's always going to be able to find his way to the rim. So shifty, the great footwork, the great ball control, and just the way that he handles himself in between players.
Hunter in double figures yet again. Only 2 games this season that he hasn't hit that mark. Outside look. Potter the 3. Left short. Kylud the rebound out in front to Hunter. Red jerseys waiting on him. King shuts him down. Cooper wide open for the 3. The junior from Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Cooper is a rhythm 3-point shooter. When he gets a pass in the pocket, he can go right up, release. That's when he's at his best.
Full court pressure now from the Bears as Olowokere and Hunter swarm Demaree King, force him to give the ball up. King already with a season high 8 3-pointers. He's 1 off of his career high. Ball knocked out of bounds.
Because someone is going to be open, so making sure that you're giving the help and rotating over to try and shut down the open man.
That's how Brigham got that easy basket early in the second half. King trapped, goes down, but was able to get rid of the ball. Brigham wants a 3. Yet again, he's the open man, and Marcellus Brigham's going to make him choose somebody else.
Jacksonville State is making sure that they are leaving somebody available. That time, Olowokere didn't get out in time to close out.
The sophomore from Memphis is having a day. Olowokere stripped. Zelly Snack comes out with a loose ball.
Active hands just getting into the passing lane by Brigham Jr.
Brigham wants to keep it himself, and it has been a game of Jacksonville State players finding a streak and riding it.
Central Arkansas not cohesive on defense. That was the one thing the Bears had to do coming out, and so far they have looked out of sync and not communicating well.
7 points for Brigham in this second half. Kylud is fouled and hit.
Little high-low play with Cam Hunter. Try to get the ball on the inside.
Kylud, after adding the free throw, now has 7 points. Hunter and Cooper in double figures for the Bears. King and Potter in double figures for Jack State. Spin move by Purdue. Feeds Zelly Snack. Has it taken away before he can go up for the shot.
Zelly Snack has had that ball stripped 3 or 4 times.
Cato to Daughtery. Different look on the floor right now for the Bears. Unable to hit the shot. King lobs it up. Too far, and oh no, Potter landed hard. And down he goes. Officials immediately call a whistle. His hands were not there to save him, and he crashed right into the floor. That's a bad one.
The way that he landed was so awkward. That's not the case, but he looks to be in a tremendous amount of pain.
We'll take a look at him behind the benches. Play resumes, 57-41, Jacksonville State. Hunter working inside, gets the lay-in against Brigham.
Hunter's just so fearless with the way that he takes the ball into the rim. Doesn't matter the contact, doesn't matter the defense. He is finding a way to get his shots off.
Hunter has found his shot again. He made 4 of his first 4 from the field. Now 6 of 12, 17 points. Right at his season average.
And for Jacksonville State, the question is, how do you regroup after your teammate goes down with an injury like that?
Purdue fights inside and will be fouled by Daughtery. All the way from Paris, France.
In town, of course, for senior night. First time she's ever been to Conway to watch her son play basketball for the Bears.
Last time she saw Eddie play a game was 2015 before he joined the Bears. So with mom in the house, that's a lot of pressure on the lone senior for Central Arkansas. He's had a rough night, 7 points on 2 of 8 shooting. You know he wants to impress.
And go out in style as Cato gets fouled and takes out. He picked up one late in the second half, not able to defend, go up and contest for blocks, and he's not able to take the ball on the interior the way that you would typically see him.
Blocks per game, averaging over a block per contest. Missed a lot of action in January with an ankle injury, but he has been big, especially defensively for this team since coming back. The offense hasn't been there, though. No points in the last match against Bellarmine. And it's been a quiet one today. Now 4 points total for Cato. Inside feed, there's Jawan Purdue.
What a look on the interior. Central Arkansas caught marking King, and that left the interior wide open.
You can't blame the Bears for blanketing King after he scored 24 points in the first half. But Jacksonville State, they're finding the open man as a result of the double team. Cato's three-pointer no good. Now, I mentioned Cato was in a bit of a slump. I actually had a Gamecock highlighted who had been in a slump. Demaree King has had a rough February, believe it or not. He shot 3 of 14 against Liberty, 1 of 13 against Kennesaw State, 1 of 8 against Bellarmine. Safe to say that slump is over.
Anyone that heard you give that information as that three's on the way off the front of the iron would call you a liar looking at today's stat line.
I promise it's true. He is shooting as poorly as he had in his Gamecock career coming into this game, but no more. And now the rest of the team's just feasting. Amanze and Gumazi. On the other end, offensive foul, erase the basket.
But to your point about the rest of the team feasting, when you've got a guy that's hitting at the rate that Demaree King is today, it's contagious because the bucket, it looks like the ocean right now for Jacksonville State, and that means the confidence is up. You're taking higher quality shots. You're feeling good when you let it go, and that all just kind of snowballs downhill.
61-45 Jacksonville State. UCA has never led, but this game was close almost the entire first half. It was the closing 3 or 4 minutes when King got red hot and opened up this big lead.
And 3 big triples by King on 3 straight possessions really started to kind of stretch the thing out, and Central Arkansas was never able to recover defensively. They took too long to start doubling him.
Pressure this time, and a 10-second violation. The Bears force a turnover.
Central Arkansas needs so much more of that. That was a good job there, staying in front of their man, blanketing all the open Jacksonville State players to get that 10-second call.
Well, the Gamecocks didn't come back to help King out. He was desperately looking for an outlet, and the Gamecocks had set up on the offensive end.
A little bit of a mental breakdown, which sometimes can happen when you have a big lead like this.
Kirsapu, shifty move, just can't get that shot to fall.
And Central Arkansas has gotten a lot of quality looks on the inside, but the Bears haven't been able to finish, which has just fed into the burgeoning Jacksonville State lead.
Now it's King and Reeves doubling. Inside, Purdue is fouled. And the game, this will be attempt number 106 of the season. He's a 70% shooter. Player last year, even though he was second in the country in three-point shooting percentage.
It'll be interesting to see moving forward, especially in Conference USA, if Coach Harper could continue that philosophy, because basketball as a whole is trending away from that. But so far, Coach Harper's been able to foster that in the environment, still in the first early days of the transfer portal. And so what's going to give first, the coaching philosophy or the transfer portal?
Right. There's a lot of transfers on this team, but Coach Ray Harper does a good job of getting them to come early, transferring after their freshman season or maybe their sophomore year, so they get a chance to develop in his program. Very few one-and-done players coming through Jack State. Rebound by Monzie Jackson back in. J.J. Platt also in as the Gamecocks turn to the bench. Travis Roberts up at the top of the key will get the handoff. He's into traffic, and a defensive foul.
He's outside of the restricted area. That's a blocking foul.
Roberts had a big wide step into the lane. You saw Kirsapu at the last moment shift the body over to try to stay in front. The officials right on top of it. 18-point Gamecock lead. They've been in control since they caught fire at the end of the first half. 12 of 16 from three-point range in the first half for Jack State. Defensive foul against Kirsapu. He picked
a bang-bang situation like that, because it's very hard when you're moving that quickly to get your feet set in a place where it's actually a charge.
Sixth all-time meeting between these two teams. Central Arkansas leads the all-time series 3-2. The road team has won the last 3 meetings, and that may be true again. Inside feed and a slam.
And the Bears not communicating, not providing that backside help. Right now, the Gamecocks are getting any look they want.
Largest lead of the day, 21 points. And a substitution, Colin Cooper in to give Cam Hunter a rest. What do you think of this choice by acting head coach Brock Witters to leave Kiersapuu in?
I'm surprised, to be honest, with the 3 quick fouls. Kiersapuu is such an emotional player, but he is a younger player. He's a freshman. You mentioned earlier, perhaps the point guard apparent. Let him learn how to work through this situation.
And now his safety valve, the other point guard, Cam Hunter's not on the floor. Kiersapuu tries a 3, too strong. Rebounded by Roberts. Again, pressure from the Bears, not letting Jacksonville State take it across the timeline without a little bit of trouble. Roberts uncorks one. Short. Poked free to Cooper, who is fouled as the Gamecocks tried to provide a little pressure of their own. In this second half, 3 against JSU. Gamecocks, they were the ones in foul trouble in the first half. Script has flipped.
You chalk some of those fouls up to frustration. Central Arkansas just knows that this is a game that they have not been in from the very beginning.
Zelly-Snack blocks Kaialud, and we have seen very few players in the A-Sun handle Eddie Kaialud the way Marash Zelly-Snack has.
Zelly-Snack has really bodied Kaialud anytime he's been in. He's been using
on social media for the various teams about what equality has meant to these programs. Here the final week of the home season, final week of the regular season. Good cause to highlight. Kiersapuu still out there. The freshman getting the clinic. He's having to learn through it. Kaialud, the lone senior, is still out there with him and hits the jumper.
Good shot by Kaialud, just going right up over the top of Zelly-Snack, who didn't close out with a hand in the face.
Well, the story of the second half is that Demaree King has yet to score. 24 points still. He's missed 3 3-pointers in this second half. Stands at 8 of 12.
And no movement from the Central Arkansas bench yet. And as I say that, here comes Cam Hunter and Elias Cato. And it's a bad foul for 2 reasons. One,
numbers aren't terrible. They shoot 69% as a team. They're 4 of 6, now 4 of 7 in the game. As the ball went off UCA, it'll go back.
In those games, 25 points. And they missed more free throws in each of those games than they lost by. The average margin in those games was just 4.1 points.
So you look at a team being in the tournament field versus on the outside looking in. That stretch was the difference. But you're seeing the talent from this team today as Jackson connects. He now has 5.
That's why it's so frustrating for this Jacksonville State team, because when they can put it together like this looks like a top caliber A-Sun team that can contend with Kennesaw State, contend with Liberty, but the free throw shooting really is what did them in this season.
Transition 3, Munzie Jackson.
You can't tell me the way that Jacksonville State is shooting tonight that they are not shooting like one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the country. This is a clinic.
Kaialud round the horn to Olowokere. 3 from the bench. In, out, in.
Central Arkansas, to their credit, continuing to try and shoot through it. Just 7 of 23 on the night.
This is really an anomaly type year for the Gamecocks. Ray Harper, not just for the Gamecocks as a team, but Ray Harper as a coach. This is his 24th season coaching, Dorian. This will be only his 2nd losing season.
That just speaks to consistency. That's a coach that knows how to win at every level with every type of team, because not every team is going to be the same in terms of their ability. So learning to adapt to what your players can do, that's one of the best things that Coach Harper does.
He came into this game with 561 career wins as Cameron Hunter beats his man to the lane and has 19.
Hunter just finds ways to score, finds ways through the lane, finds ways through defenders on his way to the rim.
Finishing the note on Harper, he's won 4 national championships, 2 at the Division II ranks at Kentucky Wesleyan, 2 in the NAIA with Oklahoma City. He's taken this Gamecock team to the division.
And so we talked about this with Austin Peay when they came to play here about moving from the OVC to the A-Sun and the different style of league, say, especially in those first couple of years.
And for Jacksonville State, as King is earning his first point that wasn't from a 3-point line as he hits 1 of 2 on the free throws. Jack State only spent 2 seasons in the A-Sun. They came over from the Ohio Valley, a much more physical, joining CUSA.
With how fast they play, this team doesn't look like a team that was built for the OVC for me, because this game has been a lot more up-tempo. OVC a lot slower level of play, but Jacksonville State today has been able to get up and down the court at will.
Well, all those players left. Yeah, they graduated 5 of their top 6 scorers and rebounders from a year ago. Out in front, Cameron Hunter leaves it short. Oh, my goodness, it just won't fall for the sophomore. That's one he wishes he had back. Transition 3, and that's just twisting the knife. Marcellus Brigham has had a heck of a second half.
That sequence kind of encapsulates this entire game for Central Arkansas. They've gotten some good looks on the interior, weren't able to finish, and then Jacksonville State comes right back down and hits an easy open transition 3.
Brigham has 12 points, 10 of them in this second half, as Elias Cato answers back. He has 6. Still 22-point Gamecock advantage. Bears have not been able to close it. Brigham wants another one. 15 points. He averages 4 on the season.
16 made 3-pointers for Jacksonville State tonight. They are getting quality looks. Central Arkansas is a step or 2 slow on defense. No Bears closing out with a hand in the face at this point.
Cooper's 3 no good. Gamecocks not slowing down a bit, and they force a transition foul from Cooper, which will mean free throws for the game.
Until this year, but you would never know it by the way that he's been shooting the rock tonight. He's been spotting up a quick trigger, great form in terms of his hips, knees, elbows, all pointed towards the basket. He looks like a pure 3-point shooter.
And he was another one of those players that had to earn his way in to the Jacksonville State lineup as a freshman at limited play time, as Cooper gets the basket. 80%. Team as a whole shoots 75% from the line. They're top 3 in the conference. There just haven't been a lot of trips to the line. 9 out of 10 today. Jacksonville State 5 out of 10. And now the Gamecocks, realizing the game well in hand, slowing things down with 7.5 to play. All eyes on Demaree King. 8 3-pointers in the first half, but only a free throw in the second. And it's been opening up other players. Amanze Ngumazi.
Ngumazi got loose on the baseline. Cam Hunter turned his head, and he lost track of where Ngumazi was coming down the line.
Wild transition 3 from Daughtery's off point. Ngumazi, a transfer from Georgia in his 2nd season with the Gamecocks. Opened the season with 4 straight games in double digits, including against Alabama. He had only 2 since then before opening up a big game today. And there is 3-pointer number 9 for King.
Ties a career high, went 9 of 11 from beyond the 3-point arc last year against Little Rock in a career high 32-point performance.
Colin Cooper answers back.
Extra pass to find Cooper in the corner. Central Arkansas throughout the years had success with that extra pass because the defense cannot move as fast as you can pass a ball.
16 points for Colin Cooper. That's his 2nd highest point total of the year. A career high 22 against Little Rock, a game where he hit 6 threes. Brigham, another triple. He has 18.
Jacksonville State has nearly as many 3-pointers made today as Central Arkansas has baskets. And when you're trading 2s for 3s like that, it is.
Initially, they ruled a jump ball. And I thought it was Ngumazi who had his hands in there anyway. I'm not sure if Brigham did something else after. Now they just call it a common foul. So the officials got together and changed things up. Nevertheless, another 3-pointer off the mark for UCA. They're now 8 of 27 from 3. Offensive foul as Kirsapu hit the deck.
Kirsapu finally got the offensive foul call that he'd been looking for previously, just kind of running behind Ngumazi and caught an unintentional elbow.
5:50 to play. Jacksonville State with the game well in hand. Demaree King just hit his 9th 3-pointer of the game. Believe it or not, it's only his 1st of this half. Hard
Really expecting a trail to come through as he went to throw the pass back, but there was no white jersey coming down the lane. He was doubled by Jacksonville State.
Inbound 3, Eddie Kayalud right in front of Mom. You love to see that. Double figures for Kayalud.
Well, Central Arkansas would have loved to see a whole lot more of that from Kayalud. A whole lot more offense in general.
We mentioned Zelly Snack. and his career games played record
this season because he loves playing at Central Arkansas so much, taking his COVID year, and not the way that he wanted to end it with without an A-Sun tournament.
Friday, he'll be the lone senior honored as Central Arkansas ends their season against Kennesaw State. Make it 30 points for Demaree King as he adds 2 free throws. That is the first 30-point game for Jacksonville State since Demaree King did it in the non-conference schedule. Demaree follows it up. Still can't buy a bucket. Central Arkansas ice cold in this second half.
Offensively, it's been a struggle for Central Arkansas all night long. They've gotten a ton of contested looks. Jacksonville State has really closed down the gaps. And finally, Kiersapu draws the charge.
That's against Gordon. And Kiersapu's trying to do that with 4 personal fouls of his own. High risk, but this time the reward. And they'll work the ball up the floor quickly. Demaree looking for space, and there's just none to be found.
Jacksonville State, even with the reserves in now, getting memorable, or not memorable, but getting meaningful minutes, their defensive rotation is still so good. They have everyone covered on the interior. Munson just goes over top because he's taller than everybody else on the floor.
Central Arkansas has also gone to the bench. They bring in sophomore Jonas Munson from Alexandria, Virginia, 7 foot, 220 pounds. Those points are his first of the season. He was 0 of 3 shooting prior to that one. Inlet pass to Gordon, knocked away, still loose. Fed back out to King. Here comes the 3, leaves it a bit short. Offensive rebound. Ngumazi, his 3 off. Ball still loose, another Gamecock rebound. The slam, no good, but the foul.
The body language to slide, it was reaching with the hands. That is just frustration defense.
So Purdue back to the line to try to add the 4th game this month that Central Arkansas has allowed 90 or more points to an opponent. Florida Gulf Coast sidelines today. He had been at the edge of the bench. Now he's right in the middle of the huddle.
And he has progressively gotten closer and closer to the center of that huddle every single time out. He's inched a little bit closer, and by looking at that shot, you would have never known that he wasn't acting head coach right now.
You see the leading scorers for Jacksonville State, led by 30 points from Demaree King. A big night for him, 8 3-pointers in the first half. But now all of a sudden, Jonas Munson has scored 4 points. He hasn't scored all season, but he's put in a couple as both teams have brought on some reserves here. Zellisnack still out there for the Gamecocks, though. The starter, the senior,
what
gets
a
a basket.
Beautiful time. Zellisnack setting the screen and then turning, but to sneak it through Munson's outstretched hands, that was tough.
And what we wanted to mention when we showed that leading scorer graphic, we were caught off guard by Coach Boone becoming Coach Boone again.
We were.
But all those Gamecocks in double figures, 5 of them for the game. You know, the first half was all King. He's the one who broke the game open, but his teammates lifted them in the second half.
And it just goes back to the point of what Jacksonville State could have been. Wow, what a take.
Circus shot by Monzie Jackson. He has been filling the stat sheet. He's now the 6th in double figures. He's got 10 points.
You go back to that stretch where the free throws were such an issue for Jacksonville State, and you feel like had those games flipped, this is a team that would have been at the top of the conference.
Jacksonville State calls a timeout. We'll take one with them. 95-67 Gamecocks. Up with 16.
The thing that stands about that is all of those are volume points. Kylu just 4 of 12 from the floor. Cooper 6 of 11. Hunter's more of a volume scorer by nature. 7 of 14 is a better shooting night for him as Munson goes for the 3-pointer, nearly gets it. But to have those numbers on that kind of shots, Central Arkansas has had a really tough time getting buckets tonight.
6 Gamecocks in double figures, led by 30 from Demaree King. King once more. The 3-pointers have not fallen for him in this second half. If they had, he'd be making history.
If they had, King would probably be around 50 points right now.
By the way, when we know all of these stats, I'd love to say it's us.
It's not.
We've got a team that helps us. For Central Arkansas, as Steve decided when there's records that could potentially be broken, you get little handwritten notes being passed back and forth. Second free throw won't fall. One of the things we'll have to look up is the last time Jack State scored 100 points in a game. They've got a chance with 2:18 still to play. as Kirsapu drives inside and draws a foul. He'll shoot free throws, and that's
stepping up. That has been the type of defense that Jacksonville State has played all night long. There's just been no room for Central Arkansas's offense to work.
They won 111 to 48.
That didn't take you very long.
There you go. Well, if it hadn't been this season, I'd have been in trouble. Munson slaps that ball out of bounds, towering over everybody. It'll belong to Jacksonville State. You know, you got a player like Jonas Munson, and this is a team that has really been at a size disadvantage each of the past 2 years. You know Central Arkansas would love to develop him into a reliable player.
Anytime you have a 7-footer on the court, you're going to have a size advantage.
Brigham has made every three-pointer he attempted up until that off-balance shot. But Central Arkansas trying to hurry it too much.
In either their transition offense or their set offense, they've juggled a lot of passes. They've had a lot of passes batted away, a lot of turnovers.
King with 2 defenders around him, a new personal best, and he ties the school record. And he'll get a chance to break it.
It's going to be a struggle for Central Arkansas to stay into this game, but the turnovers have been what has killed them.
King for history. You knew he was shooting the ball as soon as they inbounded it.
Everyone in this gym knew.
He leaves it. On the other end, more free throws for Johannes Kirsapu. And he continues to be money. 90. The win will improve Jack State to 12-18, 5-12 in conference play with 1 game to go. Central Arkansas will fall to 9-21, 4-13 in the A-Sun, with league leaders Kennesaw State coming up on Friday for Senior Day. Gamecocks in the season against North Alabama. Zelly snack stripped by Kirsapu, who is playing with abandon even with an electric defender. Ball not in King's hands now. Instead, the feed inside to Brigham. Jackson the rebound. Munson gets a hold of it. And now VJ Reeves clears for the Bears. Wearing those neon pink shoes, Reeves creates separation and hits a mid-range jumper.
Reeves is the guy that has a lot of potential for Central Arkansas next year. Coming off the injury last year, a bit up and down this year, but he's got a nice looking stroke.
King doubled. Can he create space? Now he's one-on-one against Daughtery. Pulls up. History, no, in and out. Offensive rebound. King has his hand up in the air. He wants it back. Cooper tries to deny, but King has it. 15 to shoot. Demaree King inside, lays it in.
King can do it all. Got the high ball screen, just knifing through the lane.
That's his first 2-point basket, and he has 35 points. And Daughtery wedges. Game of the year for a guy who's had a lot of big games. The senior from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Possession arrow was with UCA. Daughtery gets another chance. Won't fall. Kirsapu strips it away. Always playing until the final whistle. But DJ Gordon comes away, and now Jacksonville State can run out the clock. And that is indeed what they will do. So Demaree King will tie the school record with 10 three-pointers in the game. He hit 8 in the first half. And when he caught fire late in the first half,